Part 2 of the side roof. It took so much less time, to put in that top cord because everything was already in place. Basically cut it, stick it, glue it together with the welder. So that part's done. I think it took about an hour, I don't know. And that was mainly just going up and down the ladder. This part's gonna be tough because the gable is too shallow at the end of the rake edge. The soffit's too shallow at the end. So what I'm gonna do is just continue one more piece over up until that drop down of the soffit. And I'll just have a bit of a hole there. It's under the soffit, it's not gonna get wet, it won't matter. Coming from a home inspector who actually knows things. Part of the reason I wanted to make this video was because I see a lot of home inspection videos. It's very obvious that like people took the class, they can regurgitate the information that's in the class and, you know, through their own experience, learning this and that and seeing other people's mistakes, but they don't really know how to do any of this stuff, you know. They couldn't put an outlet in, they probably changed a light bulb. Definitely couldn't like mix up concrete properly using a busted ass wheelbarrow. Oh, look at my wheelbarrow, so busted ass. And it's a little annoying to see it, you know, and I hear contractors complain about it, yet, I mean, some of the contractors do a real shit job, so I don't know if anyone should be complaining about that if they do a shit job, but anyway, it just annoys me a little when inspectors act like they could, you know, oh, well, I know how to do this because I read the book. I'll build this house for you from scratch. Like, that ain't gonna fucking happen. Ain't no way. Most of the time, they don't really know. I mean, I've seen reports with stuff on them. I'm like, that's not even close to correct, you know? It's nothing to worry about. Certainly not a deal breaker, though. In my opinion, the only thing that's really ever a deal breaker is the house. And if you're in a house that's got a bunch of deal breakers, that's your agent's fault, not the inspector, because they should know better than to get you involved in a house that you're gonna bust out a contract on because it's all fucked up. But you know, 3% is 3%, especially if some overpriced houses here in Austin. And it turns you into like Warren Buffett overnight. All of a sudden you start thinking you're a genius. Anyway, there's part of my roof. Now I got to do the up the verticals. I should probably do triangles just because that's like what you're supposed to do, because the triangle's like the strongest shape. I mean, I guess next to an arch maybe. But I don't really feel like measuring those angles and cutting them. So I'm probably just going to do vertical pieces, which for supporting the metal roof above only, I think will really probably be sufficient. Catch me on that one next. Part 3 coming up.